off and racing. Getting a good start on the far side. That's Fred the Master who wants that lead. Coupling up in the middle, that's Any Means. So Any Means in front of, on the outside, Fred the Master. Then comes Novia. Back there in fourth, that's Mulligan Man. Just behind Mulligan Man on the rail, that's Mohan Lal, about 4 or 5 lengths before we come to Puro Sangue, and racing at the back of the field, that's Community Race. They make their way cutting toward the 5 furlong point, and on that lead, Fred the Master, just the leader, and going on now by about a length and a half from racing in second, that's Any Means, about 4 or 5 lengths before we come to Novia. Coming up against the rail, that's Mohan Lal. Just behind them, that's a Mulligan Man, another 2 or 3 lengths before we come to Puro Sangue, and still laboring at the back of the field, Community Race. They go past the 4, Fred the Master, with the intentions clear, trying to take them pillar to post, about 3 or 4 lengths now in front of Any Means, driven for all he's worth. It's still in front, Fred the Master. Here comes Mohan Lal coming on the outside, also coming down into it now. That's Novia, but it is Fred the Master still in front of Mohan Lal, trying to get there. Fred the Master looks to be running out of gas. Mohan Lal now grabs a hold of Fred the Master. Coming on the outside, that's Novia, but it is Mohan Lal in front. Fred the Master has not quit. Still there fighting, coming out wide and coming on. That's Novia, but it's Mohan Lal trying to give them a clean pair of wheels. And Mohan Lal begins to go away from them. Mohan Lal sprinting clear, and it's 2 on the day for Tajesuku. Mohan Lal beats Novia. Then comes Fred the Master back in fourth. That's Puro Sangue.
They're off for the St. Leger. Dreamcatcher starts off well on the far side. So Lucky Am I, right between horses. Salute the Don is running freely in the early exchanges with Jamin pulling alongside him. Dreamcatcher is now racing in third. Signor Biscotti is racing on the rail. A wall of horses ganging up as they make their way now into that clubhouse turn. Salute the Don makes his intentions known on that lead with Jamin moving on now to take him on. Dreamcatcher is racing up next. So Lucky Am I and God's Plan run in front of Signor Biscotti. Bigger Boss moving in between horses. The Maestro and Strong Avenue racing behind them. Stardom is off the pace and racing with the back markers. London Spirit improving on the rail. Isle of Birdie and Mohan Lal. That brings up the field as they make their way onto the back stretch and approach the final 6 furlongs. Salute the Don rated on that lead with Jamming pressing all the while. 4 lengths back to Dreamcatcher. Senor Biscotti not yet let loose. Strong Avenue begins to inch closer. London Spirit is some 3 lengths in behind them. Stardom now has made improvement. Bigger Boss is being ridden, so Lucky Am I on the outside. God's Plan in between runners. Isle of Birdie making some progress. Mohan Lal is now overtaking So Lucky Am I, who fades under Maestro trails the field. A half a mile to run in the Jamaica St. Leger. It's still a wide open affair. Salute the Don, and with Jamin going at it hammer and tongs. In behind them, Signor Biscotti needs to find some 3. Another 3 to Dreamcatcher. Strong Avenue as they leave the 3 in front of Stardom. London Spirit is racing next ahead of Isle of Birdie. A gap back to Bigger Boss and Mohan Lal. God's Plan racing second from the back as they come turning into the top of the lane in the St. Leger, and it is with Jamin now who slams into the lead. With Jamin with that lead. Salute the Don, the check engine light has come on and he begins to fade as with Jamin holds the advantage with a furlong to run. Salute the Don trying to close the gap but can't, with Jamin is running away from the St. Leger field inside the final 16th. It's all over. It's with Jamin powering away to take it under Ray and Lewis. They win by 5 or more. Salute the Don in a photo with London Spirit. In behind those, Senor Biscotti and Dreamcatcher. Field in line, they're sent off for the Mr. Lover Lover Trophy. Darwin gets a good start. Joe Boxer pressing the gas on the outside. Dark Authority races out wide with God's Plan and a City of Dreams as they make their way into that clubhouse turn. Darwin out in front. Joe Boxer continues to chase close up, and Joe Boxer is now sent through to get that lead. God's Plan staying close on the outside of Darwin. These 3 in a fairly tight grouping as they make their way toward the back stretch. City of Dreams races next. One Yanza Lynx is on the rail. Dark Authority out wide. And then comes Water Spun. And last of all, it's Brody's Unity as they've taken over onto the back stretch. Joe Boxer, the leader. God's Plan chasing as they slip past the 6. City of Dreams beginning to make ground on the outside. Darwin in a handy spot in 4th as they charge down the far side. One Yanza Lynx and Dark Authority run as a team. A break back to London Spirit. Water Spun is next. And forget Brody's Unity needing a miracle as they're about to arrive at the half mile. Joe Boxer out in front from Darwin. God's Plan sitting pretty right there in 3rd. City of Dreams is in 4th. These 4 tightly compacted. Dark Authority has made ground ahead of one Yanza Lynx. A break to London Spirit. Water Spun shaken up. And last of all remains Brody's Unity as they've left the 3 and make their way toward the 5/16th. Darwin holding on to the advantage as they leave that 5/16th behind them. They're going to come thundering into the top of the lane. Joe Boxer continues to attack. God's Plan is unleashed on the outside, but Darwin attempts to go all the way. Joe Boxer and God's Plan now making a race of it toward the outside. That's the favorite City of Dreams, but Darwin is running away from them. Inside the final furlong, it is Darwin pulling away from Joe Boxer and the rest. Darwin, a good performance here in the Mr. Lover Lover Trophy. They're not going to catch Darwin. Under a good ride from Tajay Sekou, Darwin takes it and takes it by double digits. Joe Boxer will be 2nd. God's Plan 3rd. London Spirit 4th. Dark Authority is 5th.
Now they're off and racing. Not a bad line. Out wide, that Salute the Don wants that lead and is prompting the pace coming past these 7. So it's Salute the Don right there too. That's God's Plan in the mix as well. That's We Jammin'. Just behind them, that's Bigger Boss. Then comes Senor Biscotti as they go past the 6. Stardom comes next. Just on the outside of Stardom, that is the Maestro. Just behind them, that's Dash All Day. Coming up on the inside, Fernando. And racing at the back of the field, that's London Spirit. They head toward the 4. And on that lead, Salute the Don, trying to dictate terms. About 3 or 4 lengths in front of racing down into 2nd, that Salute the Don, which Jamin tracks them and now begins to make a forward move on the outside. Also trying to come on that Stardom, but it's still on that lead. It's Salute the Don in front. Here comes We Jamming on the outside, right there too in the mixed. That's God's Plan still there. They're coming at the top of the lane. Salute the Don still in front. God's Plan also in it, just out wide and coming on. That's We Jamming. But it's Salute the Don still in front, turning them back at the furlong pole. Salute the Don also coming on. That's God's Plan. Salute the Don still in front of God's Plan. Also coming down into it. That's Stardom. It's Salute the Don still turning them back, coming with a half a furlong to go. Here comes Stardom up the inside rail. And Stardom, Salute the Don. Stardom, Salute the Don. Stardom now goes on to win the Kingston from Salute the Don. Then comes God's Plan. Senor Biscotti. And back in 5th. That's Fernando.
They're off. Abudar comes off slowest, has catching up to do. Manoletti Majestic has speed and displays it early. Eye of the Tiger and Abigail Abel sitting 2 or 3 lengths in behind as they go flashing past the 5. A gap of 5 lengths. 2 on the outside, Rockhampton, My Lady Gold rubbing the rail. Just in behind those, that's Abudar as they charge down the backstretch, and Delta Gamma is last. They're at the half mile and running the bend. Manoletti Majestic hugging that rail. Eye of the Tiger moving within a length and now beginning to make gains all the time as they leave the 3/8 pole. Manoletti Majestic joined by Eye of the Tiger. 5 or 6 lengths back to Rockhampton. Toward the inside rail and running it, My Lady Gold. A break back to Abadar and Delta Gamma at the back as Eye of the Tiger now unleashed at the top of the lane grabs that lead. Manoletti Majestic will fight back on the rail if he has enough in hand. Rockhampton is on the outside and racing in 3rd, but it's Eye of the Tiger in cruise control with a furlong to run. A crack of the stick on the shoulder by Abigail Abel, and Eye of the Tiger continues to fend them off inside the final 16th. It's the favourite Eye of the Tiger. Rockhampton needs to find 3, but is running at a racetrack. Eye of the Tiger cruises in to win by maybe 2 in the end over Rockhampton. Then Manality Majestic, My Lady Gold in a photograph with Abudar. The Monday Morning Trophy, 7 furlongs. They're off for the Monday Morning Trophy. Minnehaha steps off a beat slow and races at the back early as Super David grabs an early lead and shows over Tia Maria chasing in second. Darwin runs the rail and begins to make progress. Toward the outside, Strong Avinu is racing there. Charming Chatterbox now begins to make ground on those leaders. Minnehaha races next against the rail, possibly 8 off that lead. Fidelity is a further 2 lengths back, second from the back. And last of all, it is London Spirit as they've left the 5 and approached the half mile. Super David out in front. Charming Chatterbox a length down, right on the tail of that leader. Darwin back in third. Toward the outside, Strong Avino makes ground. Tia Maria also joining the pack. They pack tightly as they run toward the 3. A big back to Minnehaha. Then Fidelity. Forget London Spirit needing a miracle as they come thundering now toward the top of the lane. They're at the 5/16th, about to make the turn for home. And Super David continues to hold the advantage. Strong Avino is on the outside and asked to kick over against the rail. That's a Charming Chatterbox. Darwin now finding room in between horses, but Super David continues to hang on. Here is Strong Avino now with a strong charge on the outside against the fence. That's a Charming Chatterbox, but it is Super David and Strong Avino. These two battle for it. Strong Avino now gets the nose in front. Super David trying not to quit. Over on the far side, Charming Chatterbox, but it is Strong Avino who gets it over Super David. Then Charming Chatterbox. Minnehaha. Darwin is 5th.
And now they're off and racing. Runville Run misses it, and he's left at the back of the field. As going through for that lead, that's Total Eclipse. Total Eclipse, Miss Prosecutor, right there too. That's another quality. Coming on the rail, that's a Melba's Choice. So they make their way going down the backstretch, and it is Total Eclipse from another quality. Miss Prosecutor joined on the inside by Melba's Choice as they go past the 6th. Then comes a Native Isle, now overtaken by Prosperity St just behind those. That's Crown Court. Then behind Crown Court, that's Wonderful Vision, a gap of 6 or maybe 10 lengths before we come to Runville Run. She's a player and pulled up at the back of the field. Out of the race, that's Barbecue. They go past the 4 and head toward the 3, and it is another quality and a Total Eclipse. They're mixing it up on that lead, tracked intently by Prosperity Sen, going down dangerously. Also coming into it, that's Native Isle. Crown Court comes next. Then comes Miss Prosecutor as they come to just about 2.5 furlongs to travel. And on that lead, it is now Prosperity Sen. Now going on, Prosperity Sen going on and going about the business. Coming on the inside, that's Native Isle. Also still there, that's Total Eclipse. But this one is not messing around. Prosperity Sen still in front. Native Isle begins to get closer. Prosperity Sen in front of Native Isle. Prosperity Sen looks to be flying away from these. Prosperity Sen pulling away and will win this one with ease. Prosperity Sen and Tyrese Anderson's sprinting clear by about 8 lengths. Second, Native Isle. Then comes a Miss Prosecutor. Maybe Total Eclipse just holding on from Crown Court for 5th.
Field in line for the 52nd running of the Jamaica 2000 Guineas, and they're off. Strong Avinu gets off slowly. Rockhampton also racing toward the back along with Mohan Lal. Salute the Don didn't get away that quickly, but now begins to rush at them as Eye of the Tiger wants that lead under Robert Halladine, and they run toward the 6. Eye of the Tiger in a tight bunch. Super David and Fernando is there along with Bigger Boss. God's Plan racing down toward the outside. Salute the Don. Strong Avenue has made amends for the poor start. Rockhampton is there. God's Plan fades back a bit. Senor Biscotti and Stardom race as a team along with Mohan Lal as they charge down the back stretch and make their way toward the half mile in the 2000 Guineas. Eye of the Tiger and Strong Avenue fighting for it as they slip past the half mile. Salute the Don watches them just 4 lengths off that lead. 2 back to Fernando. God's Plan has made progress on the rail. That is Rockhampton, Bigger Boss and Stardom now joining that bunch of horses. Mohan Lal and Senor Biscotti race next, and Super David left at the back of the field. 5/16 to run. They're about to come into the lane. Eye of the Tiger determined. Strong Avino on the outside continues now to tackle Eye of the Tiger. They're down the stretch toward the furlong pole, and Strong Avino now points the nose. Eye of the Tiger fighting on. Here is Salute the Don on the outside. Strong Avino, Eye of the Tiger on the far side. Salute the Don nearest to a Strong Avino. And Salute the Don, that's where the race is. Stardom now begins to sprout wings. They drive toward the line. Salute the Don, Strong Avenue, and Stardom flying late, but Salute the Don will win the 2000 Guineas over Stardom. Strong Avenue, Mohan Lal, Eye of the Tiger is 5th.
Thank you for watching another video produced by the team from QuickGallopJaya.com and its YouTube channel, The Quick Galloper. Please stay on the channel for other enlightening videos on those involved in local horse racing. Please like, subscribe, and press the notification bell.